Now, when shopping for a sofa, you're going to find a lot of different seat depths, and the seat depth is a very specific measurement. It is not the overall depth of the sofa, it is just the seat depth. We consider seat depth to be from the front of the cushion to either where that seat cushion meets the backrest, or if there are pillows on the back of the sofa, where that pillow hits, the front edge of the pillow hits the seat cushion. Seat depth is kind of a moving target because, as you can imagine, as soon as you sit on it, things compress, shift, move around, all of that. So there might be a stated number. I wouldn't put a tremendous amount of faith in the accuracy of that number, or the actual reality of that in your home, but it's a good judge of about what you're going to be expecting. There are kind of standard dimensions that I think are a good starting point for most of us. A standard seat depth that you're going to see a lot of is going to be 24, 25 inches in that 2-foot range. And believe it or not, going up or down an inch can make a significant difference in how it's going to sit. If you know that you are maybe shorter in stature, or you like a more formal sitting sofa, you're going to want to go lower on that number. You're probably going to want to look in the 23s. I usually don't go much shallower than that because it's going to start to feel more like a bench than a sofa. If you know you want something really loungy, if you know, for example, hey, I'm always lying down on the sofa, we like to curl up, it's kind of our, relaxing TV viewing sofa, then you can go potentially deeper. But I caution you on that. There are a lot of companies out there that are going with this ultra deep look. I think it's starting to fade from popularity. We see trends in furniture. It's starting to become less popular because it starts to get into people's homes and they realize it actually sucks. But those super deep sofas, unless you've already had one and you know for a fact that it's what you want, I would advise against it, because what happens is that sofa starts to sit more like a daybed. That becomes a big problem if you ever want to be able to get out of that sofa gracefully, if you ever want to be able to entertain people in anything other than a super loungy sort of circumstance. It's going to be too deep for a lot of people to sit in it comfortably and get out of it comfortably. It's also going to be so incredibly deep that even piling throw pillows on it will not be sufficient to shallow that up, because it's too much depth. Pillows are not that firm. It's going to be a mess. There are differences in the appropriate seat depths depending on the style of the sofa. I feel that like a tight back sofa where that backrest is pretty firm, isn't going to compress a whole lot. You have to keep that in mind, that you really aren't going to get extra cushion. You aren't going to get extra space when you sit back against it. So you might want to go maybe a little bit deeper, depending. A pillow back is going to be more pliant, and that might be an opportunity to go with a traditional or slightly shallower depth, knowing that when you sit back against that, it will kind of give a little bit. I find that armchairs have different requirements for people than sofas. If you're sitting in an armchair, you really don't need something super deep, and it may not be very comfortable in the end because you are always sitting upright in an armchair. You're not going to be lounging or sitting, sideways or lying down or anything like that. So go shallower on an armchair. You'll probably be happier with it in the long run, and then go deeper on the sofa. Now, you can make a deep sofa shallower by using throw pillows. You cannot make a shallow sofa deeper. It's a one-way thing. If you have a sofa that has pillows on the backrest versus a tight back, you can always pull those pillows off if you're going to lie down on it and need a little bit more shoulder room. So that's a thing to think about too. It's not just how tall the people in your family are, but how broad they are. If you are going to be lying down on it, if you're going to be lying together on it or anything like that, you might want something a little deeper to be more accommodating. It's all ultimately going to come down to how you use the sofa though. But a starting point is that 24 to 25 inches. That is the right pick for most folks, and you can kind of play with the numbers from there.